Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Book, your inside look at today's leading best-selling authors from across the globe. My name is Greg Roulette, and today I'm joined by the co-author of Protect and Defend and one of the nation's leading tax attorneys. His name is Nick Nemeth. Nick, welcome to today's show.
Good morning, Greg. Thank you.
Now, Nick, you have a really interesting story that really compelled you to co-author this book, and I'd love to know a little bit more about your background and how you help your clients today.
Well, I run a small law firm in Dallas. It's a tax law firm. All we do is help people resolve IRS issues. And we've got clients from all different walks of life. We've got clients that earn millions of dollars a year, and we've got clients earning minimum wage, struggling to get through a week. The thing they have in common is they are all terrified of having to face this problem. And my goal is to alleviate some of that fear, and that's what I tried to do with this book.
And this is a very important subject, and that's really why you wrote this book. And I'd love it if you could tell us a little bit about what you wrote in this book.
Yeah, the main point I'm trying to get across, Greg, is don't delay. If you have a problem that's this serious, don't wait till it spirals out of control. Be proactive. Fix it when you can, not when they're forcing you to. I have an example I've spoken about in other interviews, and this was one of the stories I write about in the book. And I had a client of mine who came to me not early in the process. He'd been dealing with this for a couple of years, but he finally had a revenue officer show up at his business. And he came and saw me immediately, and we laid out a plan. I realized from the paperwork he only had a couple of weeks to file an appeal, and we put this plan together, and he said he was going to think about it and get back with me in a day or two. Again, I emphasized the time constraints on filing this appeal. I didn't hear from this guy for 3 months. He comes back to me a little bit too late. The revenue officer had seized his bank accounts, had seized the receivables from his credit card accounts. The revenue officer had sent letters to all his clients instructing them to pay the IRS instead of to my client. This guy was forced to shut his business after 20 years and file bankruptcy. And I think it could have all been avoided had he taken my advice and just got the process started a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and this is a similar situation that you see with a lot of your clients, and it's really why you wrote this book, to raise the profile and raise the awareness of the things that you're doing. And becoming a best-selling author, it's given you some unique opportunities. And I'd love it if you could share a little bit about what you feel it's done to you to become a best-selling author.
Well, as a tax practitioner, I think my duties are not just to solve the tax problem, but it's to educate my clients as we go. If a client has not yet retained our firm, my job is to make sure they understand how the process works, to alleviate some of that fear like we talked about earlier. If I have a client who's already retained us, our job is to make sure they understand the process every step of the way so that they're comfortable with that process.
Now, the book is just one tool that you use in your business to do this education and really help them understand the problem that they have and how to get out of this problem. But what are some of the other ways that you help your clients?
We have tons of ways we educate our clients or prospective clients. We've got 3 separate websites. We offer webinars on these websites. I've written 2 books. We offer free reports. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out to tens of thousands of people. There's just various ways we try and educate our client because, again, in my opinion, an educated client is a good client. And I've even had attorney friends of mine tell me, Nick, you're giving them too much information. You're almost telling them how to solve the problem. You're going to put us out of business. I disagree completely. An educated client is a great client.
I couldn't agree more. And, as a best-selling author, you're a storyteller. You tell stories, and that helps in the educational process. And you shared with us just one of many stories that go on in your practice. I'd love it if you could share another story of a typical client that comes into your office.
I have a great story. I love this client. I think when she came to us, she was in her late 60s, perhaps early 70s. And for her entire career, she was always an employee, always had taxes taken out of her paycheck. Later in life, she decided to become a realtor. As you might know, realtors are self-employed individuals. They don't get a check with the taxes coming out. It's their duty to figure out how to pay that money in. The recession hit about 2008, as she was building her real estate business. At the same time, her husband got tremendously ill. This taxes just didn't become a priority for her. She let this problem kind of spiral out of control. She lost her husband. After this kind of mushroomed into a huge problem, she ended up owing the government about $80,000 or $90,000, if I remember correctly. Based on her facts, we were able to resolve her case for a few $100s. I think she ended up settling with the IRS for $300 or $400 on an $80,000 debt. Now, we can't do that for everybody, but if the circumstances are right, there can be great solutions to these problems.
Wow, and Nick, I know that you help clients like this every day in your practice, and as a best-selling author and entrepreneur, I know that your time is really valuable, but your real mission is to help these people get out of these situations. So if someone's watching right now and they could use your help and they could get out of their situation similar to how you've helped these other clients, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
I suggest they do two things. First, get on one of our websites. Do a little research. See if you're comfortable with who we are and what we do. And once you are comfortable, call my office, schedule a time to sit down and come in person. This is too important a problem to deal with somebody over the phone. Just schedule. It's important enough a problem to devote 30 minutes of your life. Schedule a time to come in. I'll sit down face to face with you and we can talk about your specific facts. Instead of getting general information on a webinar, we can discuss your situation, what we might be able to do for you, what we might not be able to do, and really get down to the nitty-gritty of your specific facts.
And Nick, I really appreciate you sharing that information because everyone's case is so unique and it's very personal to their situation. And again, if they're listening right now, what is the best phone number or website that they can reach you so they can go through this process with you?
The website is www.myirsteam.com or just call us, 972-484-0-TAX. 972-484-0829.
And those are some valuable resources and pieces of information for you to handle your situation. And again, if you have not read Protect and Defend, I encourage you to go to your local bookstore or Amazon.com right now, order a copy, read what Nick has put together. Nick, I want to thank you for being with us today on Beyond the Book.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.